Hello, family and friends of First Presbyterian. I'm enjoying sharing this season of Advent with you. I've loved walking in the sanctuary and seeing the beautiful Chrismon tree and those poinsettias and all the decorations. It's such a privilege to be back with you for this season. I'm also looking forward to introducing to you something new, a very special devotional service. It's called a Blue Christmas service that's beginning to take hold across the nation. If you Google it, you will just see a lot of those services out there. Ours will take place at 5 o'clock one Sunday afternoon in the chapel. It is a service where we seek the consolation of God as we acknowledge that many people struggle through this season for many different reasons. This can be a hard season for somebody. But I think of this service as an opportunity for us to take our burdens to God and then for God to turn our mourning into joy and to comfort. So I hope you'll consider coming, and if you have a friend who's struggling through the season, bring them with you. Invite them to join us to bring their burdens to God. Now, this coming Sunday morning, I'm going to be highlighting one of the least known people of the entire Christmas story, Elizabeth. Her story, along with Zechariah, is a very prominent one in Luke's gospel. I don't know how we could overlook her. But before I go on, I just want you to stop for a moment and tell me what you know about Elizabeth. Now, if you don't know much, that's really okay. I doubt many people know very much about Elizabeth. So let me tell you a little bit about this special woman. Elizabeth came from an ancestry who ran deep into the life of Israel. She would be like being a daughter of the American Revolution. She came from the line of Aaron, going all the way back to the beginning of Israel's story, and Aaron was a very special priest. She had something else in common with other Old Testament women. She was not able to give birth. She was barren. Like Sarah and Rebekah, Rachel and Hannah before her, she just was not given the gift of being able to bear children until God got involved. And that's something else they had in common. God would make it possible for them to give birth to children who would serve a very divine purpose. It's as if God likes saying to us, "You think this is impossible? Just watch me." In each case, something new was about to happen that would change the history of Israel and the history of the world. Now, the story we will hear this Sunday is called the story of the Visitation. Mary, a young virgin, learning she's pregnant, travels to visit with her older cousin named Elizabeth, who's also pregnant. They're both surprising pregnancies. I think this is a very tender story. I think of the two women talking, maybe talking about how Elizabeth had experienced the feeling of baby John leaping for joy in her womb. Isn't that a neat memory? Elizabeth reminds me of so many women I've known in the life of the church throughout my ministry. Now, maybe they weren't pregnant at an older age, but they did have this. They had wisdom. They were women of deep faith, deep faith. They often were mentors to younger women who modeled what faith looked like. They modeled what faith looked like to many of us. I met many of those women right here at First Presbyterian. I still meet them today. So let me end my meditation by simply saying this. Let's give thanks to God for Elizabeths in our lives, those older, wiser women who have shown us what faithful following looks like. Elizabeth, an older person who was surprised by God in a good way. An older person who God used to do a new thing. A person whose faith and life brought them joy. So I invite you to think about the Elizabeths in your life and maybe stop and offer a prayer of thanks for each and every one of them. May the peace of Christ be with you all. I hope to see you Sunday.